So we've come to one of my favorite ingredients that I love to tell people about on food labels. It's called maltodextrin. And I hope that you will watch this video to the very end because it's very important. So come on along and learn what maltodextrin is. Maltodextrin is one of those ingredients that I will warn people about from now until I no longer exist. And we're about to find out why. So it's a type of carb, but it's a very, very highly processed carb. It's a starch made from multiple different sugars. It could be coming from corn, wheat, rice, potatoes, tapioca. And so if you have a wheat intolerance or you're celiac and you are eating foods that maltodextrin, those could react very adversely for you, could be very dangerous for a person with a celiac disease. Same thing with a grain intolerance or grain allergies, like rice. If it's coming from rice, that's a whole nother issue. And corn is generally a GMO food, which hopefully everybody knows by now, or most of you know, and hopefully you'll learn more about the GMOs, and those again are bad for us too. So in our body, it's very similar to glucose. It behaves the same way. And so our body will absorb and digest it faster than other sugars. It actually pushes carbs and sugars into the bloodstream. Food manufacturers love to use maltodextrin. I'm sure it's very cheap, and they use it in a variety of foods. If you go into a grocery store and you check the back of several boxes, look at 20 different boxes, you will probably find maltodextrin in a good majority of those. It improves the consistency, the texture, and the taste of food. But it also alters our gut bacteria, which our microbiome is the seat of our health. If you don't know about the microbiome, I highly recommend that you investigate, do your research on the microbiome and how important it is. But our hormones, our immune system, and so many systems run from the microbiome. That is where everything, all health starts and begins, starts and ends in the gut. So it's very, very important that we're not altering the gut bacteria. And even though maltodextrin is low in sugar, it's very, very high on the glycemic index, 95 to 136 on the glycemic index, where nasty white table sugar has a glycemic value of 65. So it has a glycemic load to the body higher than that of white table sugar. So it's always a food additive, but it goes through the digestive system, enters the bloodstream super quick, and raises the blood sugar levels, because that's what glucose does. It doesn't have to go through the liver. So signs of intolerance could be bloating, cramping, possible diarrhea, which so many people are experiencing stomach issues today. And also it could bring in some very unwelcome bacteria that love to feed off of maltodextrin, like salmonella or E. coli. And it's a carb, so it's going to expand your waist the same way as if you were eating white bread, which hopefully nobody's eating white bread anymore. And again, the genetically modified ingredients, it could have GMO foods in it. And even though it is tolerable in low doses to quote normal people, anyone with diabetes needs to stay away from foods that contain maltodextrin. So that right there tells you really what you need to know. If diabetics can't eat maltodextrin, that means it's raising the glycemic load to the body. The blood sugar levels are too high. So these are symptoms that could be related to eating maltodextrin products, and it could mean that your blood sugar levels are too high. So a quickened pulse, dry mouth, nausea, vomiting, difficulty breathing, stomach discomfort, all kinds of things, frequent urination, fatigue, thirstiness, fruit-scented breath, who knew? So anyway, it is my mission to let as many people know about maltodextrin as I can. Please watch for maltodextrin in your foods. As you can see, there's a lot to know about maltodextrin, so don't be fooled with the sugar-free stuff, because when maltodextrin is in a product, it is a higher glycemic index than actual sugar. So it'll say no sugars on the label, but clearly you are spiking your sugar. The only people that should be eating anything with maltodextrin, which nobody should, but athletes, if you need that extra push into your muscles of fuel, that's the only reason that you would need something with maltodextrin in it, and there's other ways to get that besides taking in this food ingredient. So watch these labels, find that maltodextrin because it's in a lot of things, and remember that it will spike your blood sugar. We'll see you in the next video.